Fall in. Squadron 9, lights Bowman, all targets. Control Squadron 9. Attention. Sound action is called. Division officer, report.
All present.
Squadron, hurry, rest. Will the guests please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing and please station colors and the invocation. Military guests in uniform are invited to render appropriate honors. Squadron, attention. Commander, United States Navy, arriving. Patrol Squadron 9, arriving. Captain, United States Navy, arriving. Patrol Reconnaissance Wing 10, arriving. Parade the colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose poor stripes and bright stars through the perilous eye, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so valiantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Start the colors. Chaplain Hanley will now offer the invocation.
Let us pray. Lord, since the beginning of time, leadership has been passed and transferred from one leader to another. When Moses passed leadership to Joshua, you said, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Lord, today we ask your blessing on those here today celebrating the leadership of Commander Bowman. We ask for your blessing on him and his career, on his family. Thank you for Commander Kirkland, and we ask that you would empower him to lead with courage and integrity. We place this change of leadership into your hands, and we're grateful for your presence here. In your name we pray. Amen.
Will the guests and squadron personnel please be seated? The officers, men and women of Patrol Squadron 9 take great pride in presenting our 69th Change of Command ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the commanding officer of Patrol Squadron 9, Commander Jeffrey Bowman, United States.
All right, good morning. It's my honor to welcome Commodore Patrick, Deputy Commodore Long, Captains Miller, Osborne, Harmerly, Yaw, Landers, and Papadakis, Chaplain Hanley, CEOs, EXOs, honored guests, and most importantly, the world-famous Golden Eagles. I would also like to thank my mother-in-law, Pam, for making it here from Texas. I'm so happy you could make it. So blessed you be part of our lives. You've always been there for Kim and I love you. Doug and Rochelle, thanks for making it today. I know you made Kim extremely happy seeing you. We miss you guys. Rich and Julie, it's great to see you again. Thank you so much for making me a part of the family this past year. I really appreciate the dinners and the funny conversations. I'd also like to say a special hello to two special women, our Command Ombudsman, Ms. Megan Stolley, and our FRG President, Ms. Linnea Perry. We thank you so much for everything that you do. The Command deeply appreciates you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our honored guest, Captain Andy Big Old Miller. Captain Miller and I were both prior Red Lancers, but not at the same time. I was a first tour JO, and years later, he was the CO of VP-10. As you can read in his bio, Captain Miller's been supporting our community for a long time. I've had the privilege to work with him for the past 4.5 years. I met him when I checked into VP-30 as my fourth time as the training officer, and he had already assumed the role of the P-8 Fit OIC. He's become so indispensable to our community's P-8 transition that the leadership in our community made a genius move and transferred him and his family out here to take over the lead as VP-30.1 and handle the West Coast P-8 transition. So between our time in Jacksonville and here in Whidbey, we've had time to work closely together on a variety of projects, but quite honestly, what I cherish the most is the mentorship that I received from him. Countless times we'd have conversations after long meetings that transitioned to sea stories about his experiences in command. But these weren't just stories about what happened. He spent the time to explain his thought processes and how the decisions that he made either affected his command or up the chain. They would always have second, third order effects, and I appreciate the time that he spent to help me understand those. I often find my time in command reflecting on those conversations. He's become a dear friend, and I'm very grateful he was able to come and speak to the command on this special day. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Andy Big Old Miller.
All right, good morning, everybody. Might back that up so it doesn't blast anybody out. All right, good morning, Commodores, Captains, Skippers, XOs, world-famous Golden Eagles, families and friends. Thank you for taking time to be here this morning. It's an important day for the Bowman and Kirkland families and for Patrol Squadron 9. It's truly a privilege to be up here today. In fact, I think the last time that Commodore Patrick and I shared the stage at a change of command, it was our own. So this is exciting and it's special. So if this is your first change of command, for those in the audience, there's not a set format for the guest speaker, but here's the plan. We're going to brag about Skipper Bowman for a little bit. I'm going to brag a little bit more about the Golden Eagles, and then I'll set forth a goal, or a challenge if you will, for the squadron moving forward. I've had the unique opportunity to work closely with the Golden Eagle team this past 6 months as they executed their transition to the P-8 Poseidon. But this is not the first time I've worked with Skipper Bowman, and not the first transition that I've taken XO Kirkland's squadron through. Skipper Bowman and I worked together at VP-30, as he mentioned, where he had arguably one of the most challenging jobs in our community as the training officer for the Navy's largest aviation command. I'll just say that he was fantastic at his job, and that I probably get too much credit, and he does not get enough for all that he has meant to this community's transitions. Skipper, few leaders are challenged with all that you faced over the past 2 years. I know that today is full of mixed emotions, excitement, reflection, and hopefully you also are feeling a great deal of satisfaction. Your leadership has been pivotal to executing a momentous year. We all know that change is difficult. Leading an organization the size of an aviation squadron is incredibly difficult. Now try leading change on a scale with what VP-9 has experienced over this past year. Skipper Bowman, you have had truly a one-of-a-kind command tour. You departed on your Aloha deployment, coinciding with the sundown of Wing 2, leaving all of the support relationships, both professionally and personally, and went on to execute a highly successful deployment, flying over 2,000 hours across 8 countries and 2 continents. And then finally, resettling all of your sailors into their new home here at NAS Whidbey Island. And as if that wasn't enough, you then embarked on VP-9's first major type model aircraft transition in 54 years. For those of you in the audience, you heard that right. The Golden Eagles first flew the P-3 Orion in 1963 and continued flying it until this past fall. So then I've briefly talked about the past. Let's talk about the present. The Golden Eagles just completed a 6-month transition to become fully qualified and safe to operate the P-8 Poseidon aircraft. Several hundred aircrew and maintainers received classroom and hands-on training that included several months away from their friends and family in Jacksonville. They used that opportunity to absorb all that they could in P-8 maintenance and operations. Just over the past month, the Squadron has accepted its first 2 P-8 aircraft and completed a wing-led safe for flight inspection reviewing 39 maintenance programs. The Golden Eagles have been busy, but they have succeeded in spectacular fashion. Golden Eagles, as I watched you up close, I attribute much of your success to teamwork, a humble attitude toward the new challenges, and an eagerness to go the extra mile in your preparation and in your training. To ask the hard question, and more importantly, to keep seeking the right answers to those questions. Folks, success on the magnitude that I have witnessed doesn't happen by accident. It is a product of strong leadership. In this case, strong, clear, and effective leadership in some of the most challenging circumstances. Skipper Bowman, XO Kirkland, Command Master Chief Webster, Master Chief Proper, you all have led the Golden Eagles well. Now, many leaders and organizations have great ideas and vision for change. Many can draw up elaborate plans to implement change. Few leaders, however, can effectively execute that change. Larry Bosty has a book titled Execution, and he identifies a central truth when he defines that execution is a systematic process of rigorously discussing the hows and whats, questioning tenaciously, following through, and ensuring accountability. Skipper Bowman, you embody that central truth better than most. The Golden Eagles have set the standard for how a P-8 transition should be executed. As I reflected on some of the traits that I feel I've served you well in this challenge, I identified many traits and could in fact probably fill out an entire page of spectacular and praiseworthy adjectives. However, when I looked at the time I served with you, I came up with 2 important words that stood out to me. Those words were energy and ideas. You have boundless energy. It's in how you carry yourself and how you compete and attack every challenge. When I think of ideas, it's how you prepare and educate yourself, but more importantly, how you get after the harder problems. You look at them from all angles, and you aren't afraid to reach outside the box for solutions. These 2 areas have served you well. Now, Golden Eagles, I'd like to provide a quick vision for your future tied into those 2 words, energy and ideas. Thomas Jefferson actually spoke of the energy of an idea. That idea was America. The energy that he put into it was the Declaration of Independence. In that document, for the first time in history, there was voiced the idea of a free and independent people with a government instituted on the consent of those people. That idea sparked a revolution and created this great country of ours. That idea of liberty is why we wear this uniform. It's why we salute this flag. That's why we put energy and effort into our jobs each and every day so that we may preserve our precious freedoms. Okay, for those of you that didn't ever really like history class, I'll bring this idea a little forward to things that impact our daily lives. For those closer to my own age, we have witnessed the transformational effects of computer technology and what that has meant globally and in each of our lives. For most of you young Golden Eagles in the back there, you can hardly imagine a world without that technology. But trust me, what we live with today is recent history. In 1980, Bill Gates had started up Microsoft. At that time, he is famous for quoted as saying, his vision was a computer on every desk and in every home. He then set forth to lead his company to the forefront of this revolution. Microsoft created the software and the operating systems that turned this vision into today's reality. These ideas and the energy behind them revolutionized all aspects of our lives and connected us globally like no other time in history. Another visionary leader whose drive and energy helped transform our world. He saw beyond the vision of Gates and had his own vision of how to harness the potential he saw in computers and direct it in a more mobile and personally accessible way. In a question and answer session in 1983, he stated, Apple's strategy is really simple. What we want to do is we want to put an incredibly great computer in a book that you can carry around with you and learn how to use in about 20 minutes. We want to do that in this decade. We also want to have it hooked up to a radio link so you don't have to have wires and a bunch of things running into it, and you're in communication with all of these larger databases and other computers. Does any of this sound familiar? Over 35 years ago, Steve Jobs had a vision of personalized computer devices that were mobile and connected to Wi-Fi. The rest, as they say, is history. Apple continues its string of excellence in computers, but has changed the world in a very real way with the iPhone and iPads they developed, and today they're the largest company in the world by market value. I believe one of the boldest examples of setting out a vision and harnessing the energy behind it comes from our 31st president, John F. Kennedy. The setting was the Cold War, and the race to explore space and achieve a level of technical superiority was a very real, but still very new. He gave a speech that took place in September of 1962 at Rice University in Houston, Texas. The Russians had just put a man in space the year prior, and NASA had been created only 4 short years before. Against this backdrop of history, President Kennedy pronounced a bold vision when he stated, "Why, some may say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal?" They may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do other things, not because they're easy, but because they're hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone. This bold vision and clear goal mobilized the resources of our nation, and less than 7 years later, in July of 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man to step on the face of the moon. So Golden Eagles, I hope that I've convinced you that placing your combined energy behind an idea can have powerful impacts. The idea that I want to give you today is simply, you can be exceptional. Exceptional in every task you undertake. You just recently completed your transition to the P-8. However, there is absolutely no reason you can't be the best P-8 squadron in our Navy. You can be our community's standard bearer. Your professionalism and energetic pursuit of excellence can be a driving force in our community's transformation into the lethal fighting force we aspire to be and that our country requires to fight and win our future wars. Skipper Bowman, you set a strong vision for this squadron over the past year. You have showed the Golden Eagles through your energy and action how to be leaders in this community. It has been my privilege to watch this squadron up close for the past 6 months. You should be justifiably proud. As you pass the torch to Commander Kirkland, I simply want to say thank you and wish you, Kim, and the family all the best in the next stop along your Navy journey. Thank you.
Skipper Bowman with the Skipper Jewel Award. Squadron personnel and military guests. Section 2. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Meritorious Service Medal, Gold Star, and the second award to Commander Jeffrey M. Bowman, United States Navy, for service as set forth in the following citation. For outstanding meritorious service as commanding officer for Patrol Squadron 9 from May 2017 to May 2018, Commander Bowman's superb leadership and managerial acumen were evident throughout VP-9's flawless transition to the P-8A Poseidon. Due to his mentorship and guidance, his squadron completed a full transition on a compressed timeline after an arduous 7-month multi-site deployment. His extraordinary leadership and selfless devotion were the cornerstones upon which the squadron's combat-ready air crews provided continuous tactical support to fleet commanders across the U.S. 4th and 7th Fleet theaters of operation. As Commander of Task Group 47.1 and 72.4, his dynamic posture and emphasis on operational risk management led to the safe execution of multiple detachments, culminating in 491 sorties encompassing 2,883 mishap-free flight hours with a remarkable 98% mission completion rate. In addition, he led VP-9 through a successful home port change from Marine Corps Base, Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii, to Naval Air Station, Whidbey Island, Washington. Commander Bowman's distinctive accomplishments and loyal devotion to duty reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. For the President, W.W. Wheeler, Rear Admiral. Please be seated. Retire with mission equipment. Command Master Chief William Webster will now present Commander Bowman with the commissioning pennant. The commissioning pennant is flown from the time the ship is commissioned until she goes out of commission. The pennant is not a flag, but is regarded as a personal symbol of the commanding officer. Commander Bowman would now like to present his wife Kim and mother-in-law Pam with flower leis as a gesture of appreciation for things. Ladies and gentlemen, the commanding officer of Patrol Squadron 9, Lieutenant P-3 Bowman.
Thanks, Mad Dog. Can always hear that guy, no matter where he is. All right, Golden Eagles, good morning. I'd like to start by recognizing Commander Ryan Baldwin, Lieutenant Jordan Gruber, Lieutenant Jenna Hillman, all the participants today. You guys all look fantastic. And everyone else who has helped set up and organize this event. A1 Campos, wow, where is she? Thank you. That national anthem was awesome. I'm always amazed at what this squadron can accomplish. Everything today is perfect. I'd also like to say thank you to the wardroom for a very special gift. As I told you earlier this week, it's been a pleasure serving with you and a personal highlight for me to be part of such an awesome wardroom. Thank you. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ruin the bingo game. This speech has no spear tips or backpacks, no Mannings or Marinos. Even though I still believe that those motivational metaphors are useful, these remarks are coming from the heart. I am absolutely humbled to be standing up here today. It seems like just yesterday I was stepping off that P-3 in Kadena, assuming command from Skipper Rigoli. It's been an extremely challenging, exciting, and rewarding year. My pride in this command is immeasurable. I've enjoyed every day in command, even the hard ones. Command is such a special opportunity, and I'm deeply grateful for the help and support that I received over the past 19 years to get me here today. One of my favorite mentorship discussions is about luck. I start the discussion by asking, what is luck? And then I give my definition. I would say, luck is when hard work and preparation meet opportunity. Therefore, it is possible to make your own luck. It's possible to make your own luck, assuming you're given the opportunity. For me personally, the opportunity piece is what I am most grateful for. And that is what I'm going to shape my remarks for today, is the opportunities. The MPRA community leaders have been extremely generous to me when it comes to those opportunities. I've had some exceptional leaders and peers that have enabled me to succeed. I've learned so much from so many great men and women in this community. I wish I could personally thank each and every one of them for how it moved me along the way. But opportunities to succeed are not just in the workspace. I'm extremely thankful to the wonderful supportive family that raised me. My mother and father worked hard to give us opportunities in school, in sports, and as growing young adults. My mom not only chauffeured us around Long Island to practices and games, but most importantly instilled in us what it meant to be part of a team, what it means to commit to something. She made sure we never quit anything, saw everything through to the end. She wasn't trying to be mean, but to make us understand the agreement that we made to the others on the team, to the coaches, etc. No one person is more important than anyone else, and we must support each other to the end. My father gave us children a special gift. He groomed the highest level of mental toughness in my brother, sister, and I. As a sports psychologist, he spent equal amounts of time teaching us the fundamentals of sports and how to use your mind to control your body and your emotions. He used goal setting in almost every aspect of our childhood. That characteristic has been one of the most influential traits in my development as an officer, an aviator, and as a person. Working hard, fighting through exhaustion, compartmentalizing, and staying focused on a goal is the only way I got through OCS, flight school, my department head tour. Mom and Dad, I love you. Thank you. At an even higher level, when it's all said and done, the most important contributions to my career and the opportunities I was able to enjoy are and will always be my family. My beautiful wife, Kim, and my 3 amazing boys, Blake, Kyle, and Tyler. A military career is difficult. It's difficult for a service member to leave their family for extended periods to support our nation. As I reflect back on the road that got me to this podium, I know, sadly in my heart, my family has sacrificed the most. Moving my children around to different schools and missing birthdays, holidays, and graduations is hard, especially when you didn't ask for it and you really didn't have a say in the matter. My magnificent wife and kids have always made the best of it, and when we look back, we've had some great memories. We've met some great people, but it also comes with some tough times, and I'm so proud of how well our team has adapted and overcome. I love you boys with all my heart, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to lead this amazing squadron. Kim, you're my best friend, and I know deep down, you as my partner is the biggest reason for my success. There's absolutely no way I would have been able to deploy 7 times without the confidence that you can do it all. As a spouse club president when we were JOs, a leader in the club as we were department heads, and as a mentor to the Triad team, through the past 19 years, you've made a significant impact on our MPRF community. I know it all has a price. Many of you know this, but for those of you who don't, Kim did not make the trip out here to Whidbey Island. She stayed back in Hawaii so our son can graduate from high school next week and not have to move mid-year. That means she's been a mom and a dad for 2 high school boys for over a year. I've missed my partner and my best friend for a long time. I can never repay you for what you've sacrificed, but I look forward to trying to make it up to you. You've held our family together too many times, and I'll always be eternally grateful. I love you, Kim. I love Team Us. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything. In the honor of my wife and all the military spouses and children who had to sacrifice, can we say thank you with a round of applause? To the best squadron in the MPRF. I know I've been saying that for a while, and I mean it every time I say it. But to be fair and honest, I didn't start saying it until we returned from deployment. That's because of how and what we've accomplished and how we've accomplished things. No squadron to date has had to deal with nearly as many challenges as us. Last VP squadron in Hawaii, extended deployment into a home port change, and a compressed transition. Our performance through transition across all air crew and maintenance rates is considered one of, if not the best yet. New kids on the block here in Whidbey Island and are already first place in Captain's Cup by a lot. Standards of professional behavior and lack of distractions are second to none. An unprecedented 13 chief selects last cycle, along with our stellar advancement rate for all ranks. Across just about every measurable category, VP-9 is a top performer. Be proud of that and fight hard to maintain that culture of superior performance. CMC, it's been an honor serving with you. We've seen some unbelievable things together as part of the Triad. I'll never forget our 8-hour hike from the subway station at Natsugi. Great conversations, and I really enjoyed getting to know you. I'm glad you're fixing your suitcase. That was with a suitcase, by the way. I really enjoyed getting to know you, and I deeply appreciate your support. Thank you, Cindy, for being so involved. Kim and I will miss you. Well, my time at the podium is coming to a close, believe it or not. Soon, one of our community's best officers will be leading you through VP-9's inaugural P-8 IDRC and onto deployment. I was extremely blessed to have Millington assign Commander Kirkland. Inside joke. Not only was he my right-hand man and sounding board, but he's become one of my closest friends. Hamish, thank you for the support. I deeply appreciate you letting me stay at your place and do laundry. Seriously though, getting to know you and Kristen and Ailish has been one of the best parts of this tour. I know you and Spaz are going to be awesome. XO Schneider, welcome to you and Ruth Ann. You've got a busy year ahead of you, but the department heads and chiefs mess are second to none. Collectively, you're a great team. Try to enjoy your time, it goes fast. As large as the Navy is, it's still a small world. I hope to see each and every one of you again. So with a heavy heart, I say for the last time, thank you, Golden Eagles. Keep stroking it. I will now read my orders.
Attention orders.
Buper's Order 1078, when directed by Reporting Senior, detach May 2018 from duty as Patrol Squadron 9 Commanding Officer and report to duty at U.S. Pacific Command, Naval Station Pearl Harbor. XO, I'm ready to be relieved.
I will now read my orders. Buper's Order number 0527. When directed, report in May 2018 to Commanding Officer Patrol Squadron 9 as his relief. I relieve you, sir.
I stand relieved.
Sir, proper relief as Commanding Officer of Patrol Squadron 9.
Squadron, please be seated. Mrs. Kirkland, please join me at the bottom of the stage. Mrs. Kirkland will now present the Command Star. The Command Star insignia consists of a 5-point star superimposed on anchor flukes and a partially unfolded commissioning pennant showing 6 stars. The insignia is worn on the right breast by all officers presently in command at sea. Commander Kirkland would now like to present his wife, Kristen, Mother Kate, and mother-in-law, Julie, with flower lays as a gesture of appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, Commander Hamish Kirkland, United States Navy, Commanding Officer, Patrol Squadron 9.
Commodore Patrick, Deputy Commodore Long, Captain Osborne, Captain Miller, Captain Moore, Captain Landers, Captain Yaw, Captain Heimerly, Captain Papadakis, esteemed guests, family members from across the nation and across the world who made the effort to be here today. Thank you all so much for coming. It's a pretty amazingly beautiful day in the sunny Pac Northwest. I now can say I fully understand why people who are stationed here never want to leave. Words cannot express how truly honored and humbled I am to be standing here today. It's a testament to everyone who took the time to raise, teach, mentor, lead, and more often than I care to admit, reprimand me over the years, and it's impossible to overstate the positive impact that their guidance, rudder corrections, and encouragement have had on me. My father, Ray, who proudly served in the Navy, both as an enlisted man and an officer, is the reason I joined. Pops, you're the reason I'm here. My mother, Kate, who instilled in me a sense of propriety and moral courage, who took care of raising me and my two younger brothers while my father was traveling regularly for work. You're the reason I'm here, and I love you both very much. Captains Jim Landers and Perry Yaw, who believed in me as a young junior officer, occasionally more than I believed in myself, and who formed the framework of the command philosophy and leadership style that I bring with me to this position. Skippers, you're the reason I'm here. My in-laws, Rich and Julie Heimerly, who have been so supportive of our growing family, still growing, and to whom I regularly look for advice and counsel. You're the reason I'm here. And finally, my beautiful, talented, generous, amazing wife, Kristen, whose encouragement, counsel, patience, wisdom, level-headedness, and love have carried me through some of the toughest times of my life. You're the reason that we're here. You're also the reason that our tiny terrorist of a daughter is here and is currently destroying my office. Spaz's office, currently destroying the XO's office. I love you all more than I can say. Skipper Bowman, Nitro. First off, happy birthday. Nitro, I can't express how much I've learned from you over the past year, or how much I appreciate your friendship, patience, guidance, counsel, and did I mention patience? Although we didn't know each other well prior to this tour, I can say categorically that I could not have asked for a better skipper, leader, role model, beer pong partner, or confidant. Your positivity and cool-headedness were incredible to watch, even in the face of adversity. And I truly appreciate the opportunity to watch you lead the squadron, both on deployment and at home. I can only hope to live up to the high standards you've set. I know this past year was hard, as your family wasn't able to move with you, but I know for a fact that you and Kim will be having a blast back in Hawaii very, very soon. The Golden Eagle family will miss both of you, but I look forward to crashing on your couch whenever I'm in town. The Golden Eagles. I can honestly say that as a young ensign checking into aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola 17 years ago, it seemed unfathomable that I would one day have the opportunity to work alongside such an immensely talented group of sailors, chiefs, and officers as a commanding officer of Patrol Squadron 9. To say I'm proud of you would be an immense understatement. In my brief year aboard, we've executed an incredibly successful final P-3 deployment, a home port change, a 2.5-month detachment to Jacksonville, and as of last week, achieved Safer Flight designation as the newest P-8A Poseidon squadron in the Navy. It does not escape me for a second that every one of these evolutions has been tough. Tough on you, and tough on your friends and family who haven't seen as much of you as they would like. But in true Golden Eagle style, you have not just persevered, but have thrived, attacking each challenge with the same tenacity and professionalism that have been the hallmark of this squadron for the past 67 years. By every benchmark, VP-9 is flying high, an indisputable testament to the pride, work ethic, sense of family, and Golden Eagle spirit that you display every single day. As we begin our home cycle in preparation for the squadron's maiden P-8 deployment, I charge you to work hard, hone your skills, prepare for challenges, and avoid distractions. For when duty calls, every Golden Eagle must be ready. If I could ask one thing of you over the next year, it would be simple. Care. Care about your own physical, mental, and spiritual health and that of your shipmates. Care about your families. Care about the command, care about the Navy, and the essential role you play in the defense of this great nation. Care about maintaining your integrity and doing the right thing regardless of who's watching. This is your squadron. Take pride in it. Take care of yourselves, take care of your shipmates, for by your actions each and every day, you build upon our reputation and our proud heritage as the best in the Northwest. I'm truly honored and humbled to be able to call myself your commanding officer. As a final piece of business, all orders, notices, and instructions remain in effect. Thank you.
Squadron, attention. All guests, please rise and remain standing for a minute.
Commander Bowman, thank you for leading well. Your leadership helped the Golden Eagles transition from Hawaii to here to Whidbey Island through another deployment, another P-3 deployment, and the transition of the mighty P-8. Thank you for leading well, and I pray God's best on your family and your career. There's a shortage of good leadership in our generation, and I pray you stretch your influence out as far as possible. Commander Kirkland, John Maxwell says everything rises and falls on leadership, but I know that you'll lead well. You're taking command of one of the finest squadrons in the Navy, and I'm looking forward to seeing you finish well. Let us pray. Eternal Father, who alone spreads out the heavens and rules the raging of the sea, who has compassed the waters with bounds until day and night come to an end, be pleased to receive into the Almighty the most gracious protection of the persons of us thy servants and the golden eagles in which we serve. Preserve us from dangers of the sea, from the violence of the enemy, that we may be a safeguard unto the United States of America and a security for such as pass on the seas on their lawful occasions, that the inhabitants of our land may in peace and quietness serve thee, our God, that we may in turn and safety return and enjoy the blessings of our land and the fruits of our labor. With a thankful remembrance of thy mercies, we praise and glorify your holy name, through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the formal ceremony. You are invited to join Commander Bowman and Skipper Kirkland for a cake cutting ceremony in the hangar, as well as a tour of the P-8A display given by the Old Eagle Air Crew. Patrol Squadron 9, attention! Division Officer, take charge of your division.